welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and today we are going to talk about Buckroe Arts in the Park, which is a wonderful, fun event right there near the beach. My guest is Kathy Rogers. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, you are with the Buckroe Improvement League.
Yes.
And you sponsor this event.
Yes, yes.
How did it come about, and what happens at Buckroe Arts in the Park?
Our first year was in 2010, and what happened was the city reached out to the Buckroe Improvement League asking us to sponsor an event that would coincide with the 400th anniversary. And
I didn't know
right,
that history.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, so that was the initial year, and it's grown and evolved over the years. This is our 8th annual Arts in the Park. We expect to have between 80 and 90 artist vendors. Most of them are local crafters,
wow.
But they will come from as far away as North Carolina to the south, Pennsylvania to the north. It's become quite an event that's worth traveling for the crafters. So all of the items that'll be available for sale are all handmade, nothing manufactured, nothing mass-produced. And you'll be able to get just about any type of artwork that you could imagine. Photography, paintings, woodwork, jewelry, glassware, home decor, pet items, mixed media, textiles, I mean, you name it, and it'll be available.
That sounds like fun. So when is it again, and where and what times?
It is Saturday, September 8th, and we'll be down at Buckroe Beach Park. We'll be in the area right in front of the main pavilion.
Okay, so big grassy areas.
Yes, yes, and we'll have the vendors lined up along the sidewalk so it'll be easy to navigate. Our hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We'll also have some nonprofits there. There'll be 8 nonprofit organizations there to share their information and education. And of course, we'll have food trucks, 8 food trucks. So there'll be food and beverages available. You'll be able to get everything from entrees to carnival food. We'll have desserts to satisfy your sweet tooth. And we have a DJ providing music all day, so there'll be that. If you feel like dancing, there's an area in front of the pavilion for that. So it's a lot going on that day.
So this is just, you know, the city has put, I think, an increased effort into Buckroe Beach. There's a lot of planned capital improvements. A lot have already happened to the point where, you know, there's a chance the beach is going to be so popular that we're going to run out of parking at least once in a while. But I think there's this resurgence going on in Buckroe. Is that something, you live there, you're involved in the Improvement League, you know, what are you seeing? What is that characteristic of the Buckroe neighborhood? One
of the things that I think we love about Buckroe is we say there's a place for everyone there. It's a very eclectic neighborhood. We definitely see those improvements that you were talking about, both the new development and also people rehabbing and remodeling some of the old houses. There are still numbers of blocks that have the little original beach cottages from back in the park's heyday, and you see a lot of work going on bringing those back to their former glory, if you will.
Or their new glory, almost.
Or their new glory.
They're not as accommodating for today's lifestyle, because back in the day, they were weekend places that people would drive down, take a train down from Richmond,
Exactly,
really.
exactly. So if you're looking at one of the old cottages, you're talking about a small space, but it kind of fits in with the whole atmosphere of being at the beach. One of the things personally that I love about Buckroe is the community feel there. People are out and about. Of course, they're at the beach. They're walking the boardwalk. They're on their bicycles, sitting on their front porches. And there's definitely a sense of neighborhood there and a connection, a community feel.
Well, and that's what, you know, I notice Hampton has been on HGTV several times recently. There was a Grandview house. They featured one of those newer Buckroe homes, the high-end ones. But you drive through there and you look at those, you know, cinder block, you know, beach houses and think, this sort of fits today. When you look at millennials who want something authentic, they don't want a large place, they don't want a lot of stuff, but they want to, you know, restore and live in this kind of reduce, reuse, recycle kind of way.
Right. There's definitely a trend for going to smaller living quarters, and so, you know, again, we kind of have it all down there, everything from large luxurious homes to very simple homes.
And I think, you know, you have to agree that you want to live in an outdoor beach lifestyle that's going to have some loud music and some festivals and some community areas.
Absolutely. You know, of course, we're a neighborhood and a community, but it's a very public place. So you have to be prepared, especially on the weekends, for there to be traffic and people and cars parked in front of your home and that sort of thing, because that's the nature of the community.
You have to share, and that's hard for some people. You know, they want it kept their little secret, but you get to live there every day. That's the trade-off.
Absolutely, and part of the philosophy of the Buckroe Improvement League is to keep the beach available for everyone. It's such a gem for the city because it doesn't cost anything. You don't have to pay to park, there's no admission fee, anybody can come, and that's one of the things we really want to preserve.
And historically, that's what Buckroe has been, is both this neighborhood beach, these rental cottages, and then, you know, the Bayshore Resort drew people from all over, the amusement park drew people from all over. I mean, it's been a mix kind of all its life, hasn't it?
It has, and it's such a great beach for families because being on the bay rather than the ocean, typically the water is very calm and you walk down the beach and there's little children and families. It's, you know, it's a very family-friendly beach.
I also know, you know, talk about the high-end homes on HGTV. Hampton was featured as being one of the most affordable beach communities in the country, but I looked at the rest of those and a lot of them were Gulf Coast, Florida, Texas. There wasn't a lot of East Coast cities on there. There aren't a lot of East Coast cities with affordable beach homes anymore, or beach neighborhoods.
And even some of the beach neighborhoods, if the beaches are public, access may be limited, and that's another plus that we have. You know, that we have the public parking down at the beach, and so you can get on the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sorry we've veered to talk about Buckroe because I think it's just an absolutely wonderful gem, one of Hampton's, you know, special places. But coming back, one place to become a little more familiar with Buckroe, to enjoy it if you don't live there, is to come to Arts in the Park.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in addition to the things that we've spoken about, we have a featured artist this year who's done our artwork. Every year we have...
it's beautiful.
Isn't it lovely? Every year we solicit a donation from a local artist, and we'll have posters and t-shirts that'll be available for sale at the event. And our artist is Sarah Hemeke. She's out of Newport News. She has a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in graphic design, and she will be there. She'll have a table. So she's there to sign your poster or t-shirt if you like, and she'll also have her other work available for sale.
Well, you guys have done a nice job because I've seen most of those and they've all been beautiful. I mean, every year I'm like, oh, this is better than the last. But really, if you lined them all up, they're gorgeous.
They are, and each one is so different. They're very individualized.
It's wonderful. Okay, well, is there anything you want to add before we close?
Well, I would like to also mention that the Buckroe Historical Society will have a display at Arts in the Park. Their organization has a lot of memorabilia and photographs from, you know, Buckroe's heyday as an amusement park. There's lots of information about events that happened, the storms that came through, that sort of thing. And that's a big interest, particularly for local people, but really for anyone who comes by. And I would also like to just put a little plug in for the Buckroe Improvement League. We meet on the 4th Tuesday of the month at Anna's in Buckroe Shopping Center. And at 6:30, our meetings, of course, are open to everyone. We have a lot of things going on in addition to Arts in the Park. We're involved in a lot of different community efforts from partnering with Cary School to having an adopt-a-spot on 5th Street, roving cleanups. We do pet food drives. We man the pet waste stations to help keep our area clean. So we have lots of activities going on, and anybody is encouraged to come to our meetings, whether you live in Buckroe or not. If you just have a love for the beach, we would welcome anyone to come to our meetings at Anna's at 6:30.
Okay, and again, that community effort that you do just shows what a neighborhood is and should be, and looking out for each other, partnering with the local school, working together to make Buckroe, and therefore Hampton, such a much better place to live and play.
We have such a love and passion for the area that whatever we can do to improve the quality of life in Buckroe, that's what the Buckroe Improvement League is all about.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure.
And thank you for watching. I hope you, like me, love visiting Buckroe. Any reason is a good reason, but Buckroe Beach Arts in the Park is a special reason to come by. Even if you're going to another festival that day, there's plenty of time to hit to drop by and enjoy the arts and music and crafts and, of course, food. Thanks for watching.